Okay, so thank you for waiting, everyone. It's been a few months since I've done one of these, but everything is going alright. Like with my personal life, things are lining up, and as far as the tutorials are considered, I'm going to try and, start them up again, and I'm going to start with Daimon. And also, for the record, I'm trying to keep this a little bit more compact. I'm aiming for under 40 minutes, so just so you understand my goal here. Now, Daimon as a character is his execution is a little difficult when you get into his real combos, but for the most part, he is an incredibly simple character to play. All you really have to do is move around and use your normals. There's not much else to him in the neutral game or even on the knockdown game. You just have to come down to how much risk you want to take, and that will determine which style of Daimon you can play. As far as actually playing the neutral game with Daimon goes, you have a couple of normals that you're really going to want to use more than the others. First and foremost, standing hard kick. Standing hard kick reaches really high. Like really, really, really high. Like there are some characters that when they super jump cannot get over this. Look how high that crap reaches. It's kind of ridiculous. Not a lot of characters can jump over it. And it hits a gigantic area in front of him and below him as well. So, if you've ever played Street Fighter, you can consider his hard kick very similar to Bison or Dictator's hard kick. If you just walk up here and hit hard kick at the tip range a lot, you can really force people to block. And if you can force people to block right here, then that would be a good start to your offense. Okay? Not only is hard kick good, but standing light punch is good. Okay? Both of the normals so far are good for anti-air, especially for hops. If you think your opponent is going to hop in, running forward and hitting a jab is a really good thing to do with Daimon. You can cover a lot of space. It reaches a lot further than it looks. Okay. Basically, if the opponent anywhere within like the 1/4 screen range tries something, you can stuff them in the face, talk to the hand, with standing jab. And the next normal reaches even further than this, and that's standing light kick. And standing light kick is Daimon's workhorse. Okay? Standing light kick is going to be the normal that you want to focus on. I would say that if you have a general goal for Daimon, your general goal is to get to the tip of standing light kick range. Because this is the range where you can really put the hurt on your opponent and force them to block. Not only block, but block low. And that's when you can really get your offense going. Standing D, standing A, and standing B are probably the best ground normals for doing all of that. Now, standing light kick is not very bad on block whatsoever. You can kind of abuse it. When I say kind of, I mean you should totally abuse it. You'll see good Daimons do this all day. Bet you thought a third one was coming, didn't you? Oh, bet you thought a second one was coming. That's the sort of thing you can do with standing light kick. Not only can you sort of repeat them, and just in case you are curious, it is frame disadvantage, but it's not much at all. We're talking about -1, I think it's -2. I'm not certain of the exact, I think it's -2 frames. But that's not a lot when you consider. That's honestly not a lot. And if you think they're going to do something, you might be able to stand jab them, you can stand hard kick right there. If you think they're going to try to retaliate after your standing light kick, there's quite a few things you can do just with normals and just with spacing. Okay, now, back to the center of the screen. Standing light kick is also important because of one of his special moves. One of his special moves that he has near the bottom here, Cho Okemi, it's quarter circle back kick, and it can be EX, okay? This special move, if you've ever played Street Fighter, it's kind of similar to Abel's roll, okay? This move, in fact, it's not very similar, scratch that. This move doesn't have any invincibility. Not on the normal version. Wake up with it. Nope, nothing happened. Wake up with a hard one. Oh, there we go. Woo! Alright, let's try to do a meaty low. Oh, there we go. Well, I learned something new today. Did you know you can use the hard roll on wake up? I don't recommend it, but it is something that you can do. Now, the reason the roll is important if you put 2 and 2 together here is you can use the standing light kick and the roll, and it doesn't have to be light kick. It can be any normal that's cancelable, any one whatsoever, okay? And the idea is when you go into this roll, you're in a special state, okay? If you've ever played Dual Line or Elizabeth, you might be familiar with this, where in the middle of this state, you can do any special move that you want. You can do the anti-air grab, you can do that, you can do the one frame grab, and that's going to be something that I'm going to cover a little bit more in the combo section. Because anytime you can get a standing light kick with Daimon, if you utilize the roll and his other special moves properly, you can get combos from the maximum range of your standing light kick, and that's why his standing light kick is so dangerous. If they're standing up here, even with just the tip, you absolutely can get a command grab on a combo, and then more pressure. Okay, and even if they do block this, you do have additional options, depending on how long you let that roll go, and because of the properties of his other special moves. Okay, let me cover some of his other special moves as well. The half circle back forward punch, the first move on the list. This is the one frame command grab. It starts in one frame. You can use it on wake up. You can use it against someone that's blocking too much. He does have another command grab though. Check the damage here. Woo! This does 172. Woo! Both versions. If you EX this move, you recover much faster, which allows combos. If you're mid-screen, you can do the command normal, the down forward hard punch. And then you can combo one of the other special moves, the half forward light punch, which is an anti-air grab. Whoa! And then you can go into more stuff off of there. Also, if you are curious, if you've gone through the trial mode with Daimon, you can get multiple down forward Cs in a row if you time them right, and then follow up with the anti-air grab. You can get 3 on really good timing, and more than 3 if you have some stupid tech. Woo! If you want to set up that timing, this is sort of an intermediate thing if you want to really practice this. The best way to set up this timing is to whip a crouching light kick as soon as possible. See that? See me going for that crouching light kick? Oh, that's good. You whip the crouching light kick as soon as possible, and then you down forward C as soon as possible. You're going to get that down forward C, bam, nice and late. Okay? There we go. You can get 3 of those if you're really good. Moving on. Half circle forward hard punch. Okay, you'll notice the light punch goes up, the hard punch goes down. If your opponent is simply guarding, okay, this will not connect. This is not a grab per se, this is actually a hit. It's the similar deal also with the light punch version, okay? Some characters this will work on the ground, but some characters they're too short. But the point is, for both of these, they are hits. Your opponent needs to be not blocking in order for this to work. Woo. And if they are not blocking, you're going to get these grabs. The hard one doesn't do a lot of damage, but the hard one is useful because it has what's called an OTG property, or off the ground. I didn't talk about Daimon's jumping normals yet, but jumping CD, his jumping CD is a little bit different than everyone else's in the game. Usually on a jumping CD, it causes a soft knockdown, meaning that they can quick rise. If you turn on passive move, knocks them down, they'll quick rise if they can. Daimon's jumping CD, you cannot quick rise. It's not possible. Because they cannot quick rise, you can use half circle forward hard punch when they stop skidding, and you can actually combo it. And if you have some drive meter, you can really make them pay. Woo! Okay, you can combo into it. It's technically possible from a few moves. Usually you're not gonna combo into it except in a couple HD mode sort of deals. But it's also another thing that you can do. If you do the standing light kick roll and it gets blocked, you can consider using the half forward punch because it's so slow. If they react late to your situation, you might be able to catch them off guard. If they try to hit buttons and they're a little bit too late, you're going to go right through their button press. And the other thing you can do is the next special move, which we're about to get to. Oh, not quite there yet. Yeah, it's at the bottom of the list. Alright, cool. He does have DP punch. Well, let me take a step back. The half forward, if you EX it, you get the air grab. It's a little bit of extra damage. Nothing really to write home about. Now, when you DP punch, there's two of these moves. The fierce one is a feint. He just sort of sits there and does nothing if you do the fierce punch version. However, the light punch version is an interesting move. Okay, this is one of the things that you can use really well against projectile zoners. Okay, how light punch DP works is he slams the ground. If your opponent is standing up, like holding back like this, or even just walking, as long as they're on the ground and standing up, then this will hit your opponent and do a little under 100 damage. As long as they're standing up on the ground. Now, if they're crouch blocking, then it does nothing. No block stun, no damage, no nothing. Okay? The opponent, if he wanted, could like jump now, or they could try to react with something really fast. It does nothing if they're crouching, and it hits them if they're standing. There's no block stun on this move. It does the exact same thing even when you're point blank in their face. Notice I set the dummy to crouch and not guard, and it's still doing nothing. This serves really no purpose to cancel into unless you really think your opponent is going to be standing up. You can try to go for gimmicks with the fake one. Whoa! And you might get some moderate success with that. Okay, now the EX version is a little different. Okay, just like the regular light version, it will hit someone who's standing up on the ground. However, the difference is, notice I'm going to set the dummy to crouch all guard here. If you use the EX version of the DP punch in your opponent's face, it's actually an overhead that they have to block high. It actually has a hitbox on it that will cause block stun, and it is an overhead. If I set the dummy to crouch guard here, it will get hit by this, and it does hit twice. You can actually drive cancel the first hit, and you can do some really interesting things off of that if you can do it right. Whoa! Okay, it's very fast on startup as well. So if you want to do the light one but you think it's too slow, you can go for an EX and you can sort of try to surprise your opponent with it. Okay. We talked about the Cho Okemi. Let me talk about the EX version of this for a second. The EX version of this one is fully invincible on startup. Let me do it this way here. There we go. There we go. Notice that the dummy was walking towards me and holding C. It would have given me a normal throw if it was throwable. It's fully invincible on startup, all throws, all projectiles, all attacks, and just like the regular one, you can go into a special move at any point during the move. Okay? The only thing you can't do is another roll. You can't go from roll to roll to roll. You have to do one of the other special moves. The EX version does go pretty far, so if you're at like half screen and you're kind of scared to approach, you could just sort of do the EX version, excuse me, and use that as sort of an approach. It's really risky and you could think of it as kind of gimmicky, but when you think about his other special moves, within his special moves he has the ability to cover pretty much any part of the screen. If they jump, you can use this. If they're going to sit there, you could go for, obviously, one of the command grabs. You can do the EX version if you want. So, I mean, really you're only limited by your imagination when you go into a roll. You can do any of the special moves that are here that you like, and so you want to be imaginative in your approach when you use the Cho Okemi. Don't like make a habit of running up and using the roll too much. It's a decent gimmick, but the idea is Daimon has very strong normals. It's not something you're going to need to resort to a whole lot. The strong normals are where the basic of his gameplay is, okay? Especially in that standing light kick. That standing light kick is what you want, because that's what's going to get you combos. Can't even do it. There we go. It's what's going to get you combos if they're standing. It's going to get you pressure when they're on block. It's going to allow you to continue your offense. Okay. Moving on. The last one, the good one. DP kick. This is fully invincible on startup for a very long time. Notice how many frames of that jumping hard kick I went through there. There we go. That was a pretty meaty jumping hard kick. None of that. goes straight through it. It's invincible for a very long time. Now, it's not a one-frame command grab. Because it's slow on startup, it's, you know, slow to come out. I believe the startup is around 6-7 frames. I'm not sure of the exact amount, but it will go through a lot of things. You can use this in your opponent's face if you think that they're going to mash, but out of his command grabs, this is the strongest one. For no meters, 140. That one's not a grab technically, that one's not a grab technically. And this one, well actually I'm wrong. This one does 172, but the major difference between the DP kick and the one frame grab, besides the startup time, is the fact that you can drive or super cancel the DP kick grab. If you have no bars, you could just go into DP light punch and that will combo. Boom! But if you do have meter, you absolutely want to cancel it into a super. This is going to be very big damage. It's going to be even more damage if you EX that super. It's guaranteed to connect. The DP kick gives you plenty of time to get the motion for the super right, the double half circles. Ooh, see, just under half their life, just because they ate a grab. This is what makes Daimon really scary. He only has the grab super, doesn't have any other supers. If you're really good and you practice a lot, you can combo it off of just normals, both his main string, and from lights. Also, it does start up in one frame, so any move that has even the slightest amount of advantage on hit, you can combo into this. Notice I can do a crouching light kick and link the super. And it's not just a level 1. You can also do a level 2 super. Oh, you can cancel the crouch jab. Hold on. But you can also link it. There you go. Look at that. That might have been it. Look at that. There we go. That's a little better. So, you want to use these super grabs as the main source of your damage. Daimon is pretty decent on point, but these grabs, especially after if you super cancel when you get one of these, are going to be a big source of damage. Daimon's pretty malleable. You can use him almost anywhere on the team. He has big comeback factor, and because his normals are so strong and they reach so far compared to other characters, he's pretty decent on point as well. Oh god, I can't do it. There we go. Oh wow, my execution is crap tonight. There we go. Now, his last move, his Neomax, quarter punches. Let me turn off the infinite meter just so you can see how this works. When you do this move, he just sort of sits there. Just like he does the fierce punch feint on the DP punch, okay? Here's how this move works. This move is a parry or a counter, however you want to think about it. If your opponent hits you while you're in that animation, the Neomax goes off. And if you just do the Neomax, you know, by itself raw like that, and it triggers, it does just under 600 damage and is very, very strong. If you're familiar with HD mode, you can, 2, 3, 4. You can max cancel the final toss of the super grab into the Neomax, and it will do very, very big damage. Oh wow, come on, help me out. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yokuzo! Very, very simple, very, very high damage HD combos this guy has. It's because of that max cancel into that Neomax, okay? Let's see. But it's a parry move. You can take the risk on it if you want. Like, you can use it on Wake Up. But, you know, if they go for something, you could catch it, get 571. If you really, really, really have your opponent scared and you think they're going to wake up with, like, an uppercut or something, you could, like, Wake Up Neomax. You could try to Neomax in their face when they're on Wake Up. If they hit a button, they're going to get destroyed. I mean, that's kind of a risky tactic, but that's something that you can do. Let's see. That's pretty much all of his moves. Let's see. Normal throw. Now, I'm going to go into some very, very simple combos that you can do with him. Okay. one of the normals that I didn't get a chance to talk so much about was close light punch. Close light punch chains, okay? You can close light punch into a far light punch and into the light kick. And you can stand light kick into the command normal as well. So with that in mind, standing up, doing close jab, light kick is a very, very simple, very effective poke string you can use. If they block the whole thing, you can do another standing light kick. You can do a standing hard kick there. You can do a standing hard punch, that'll reach. You can try to do a standing CD. If they try to hit a button, you're going to beat them right there with that big palm you got there. There's quite a few things you can do after this string, and of course, if you think they're going to block, you can just run forward and go into something. He doesn't really have any major combos off of lows. Unless you have a bar and you're going to link into a super, his lows don't really have a lot of range, and you can't like crouch light kick into anything, except it's not even cancelable. So unless you're going to link into that super, his crouching light kick and crouching hard kick don't really do a whole lot for him. What you want to do when you're rushing somebody down with Daimon is you want to use that close light punch, because that gives you the frame advantage, okay? You want to mix up between 1 or 2 or 3 attacks, standing jab. Don't forget about jumping in for more pressure. Okay, there's plenty of things that you can do offensively with him, as long as you mix in the run forward command grab. And as soon as your opponent starts to try to stand up, that's when you want to catch him. You want to catch him with that standing light kick. Remember, you can land any combo, you can land almost anything you want off of standing light kick, but this is going to be what you have to practice. You have to cancel standing light kick to the quarterback kick roll, and then you have to be able to do one of his command grabs. The one frame grab, the one that's half circle back forward punch, is going to be the special of choice here. And if you notice, if you look at the command list here, quarter circle back kick is the roll you need to do, and the grab that you're usually going to use to combo is half circle back forward punch, okay? Now half circle back forward punch has a half circle back in, a quarter circle back in it. So with that in mind, what you can do, if you want to look at my input display here, is you can input a half circle back and kick, and then you can just hit forward and punch. And this will give you both of these moves in one motion. See that? So when you're doing a standing light kick to your opponent, you can just do standing light kick into half back light kick. That'll give you the roll, and then all you have to do is hit forward and punch. Okay? Also, note that if you're right against your opponent's face, you do not have to roll in order to land that command grab. But if you're a little bit further away, like right here, if you're like near the tip of that standing light kick range, this is not going to combo. You need a little bit of extra range. So what you have to do is you have to cancel it to the roll, let the roll go just a hair, and then hit forward and punch. And this doesn't have to be just the punch grab either. You can do the super if you want. Again, you can do half circle back kick, and then half circle back punch. And this gives you both in one clean motion. And it's still going to combo. Ooh! Not only can you combo the half back forward punch and the super, but if you're really, really, really good and you practice a whole lot, you can combo into the DP kick grab, but it is very difficult, and it doesn't work at the maximum possible range. You have to be a little bit closer than max range, but it is possible. Just practice it against the dummy just standing here like this. If you can get it to, if your grab misses, either you were too late or too early. This is a very precise timing to get this to work. And remember, it doesn't work at maximum range. You have to be a little bit closer. Come on, let's do this. Come on. Oh god, I can't even do it. Only works on stunned opponents. I'm looking terrible right now. Screw it! Alright. I know it's doable. Hold on. Oh, I can't even deal with it. Alright. You're just gonna have to believe me. Practicing yourself. Or, I absolutely know you can do it from there. That one is probably the easiest one to do it from the down forward hard punch. But that is possible, and this means that you're going to have a little bit greater freedom to get big damage after your combos. But your basic combos are just going to be jab, jab, short if it hits. Go for the grab. If it's blocked, you can go for mix-ups and use your normals right here. Of course, not the least of which is just an annoying, really annoying standing light kick into the buffered grab. If your opponent blocks here, you run forward, go for grab, you can hop in. And those are really just the basic combos you need to know. There's not a whole lot more to it. If you land the EX version of this, you can go for something like that. That'll take you some practice. You want to practice super canceling from his various grabs, from half forward light punch, from DP kick. That doesn't work. From half forward punch, you can super cancel almost all of these. And honestly, that's all there is to it. The thing about Daimon is he really is that simple. You just use your normals. An important thing to remember with Daimon is your jumping CD is very scary. It's kind of similar to Shen's jumping CD as far as the angle is concerned. If you hop away and hit jumping CD, there's not a lot of characters that are going to beat this clean, and if they trade, you're going to get a soft knockdown. Or should I say, you'll be able to quick rise, but they won't be able to quick rise. Remember, they can't quick rise this. Oh, here's a fun little property. If this counter hits, they go against the wall. And of course, you can combo off that. It's pretty much the same state as the EX version of this grab. Where you can combo like that. Well, same deal on here. Same deal. You're going to want to have to adjust your spacing in case you're too close to the corner. There's you might have to like adjust how you combo this. But the point is, there is stuff you can do. And probably the other important thing you can do off this is you can just do another jump CD, which again will cause that skid. So you can do this. And also, because this jumping CD from up here causes such a long skid, you can just raw activate HD and go into big damage from there. Oh. Of course I dropped it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The point that I'm trying to make here is that there are plenty of ways to get big damage with Daimon if you can land either a counter hit down, either a counter hit jumping CD or even just a normal hit jumping CD if your opponent is cornered. Even just a normal hit jumping CD could turn into big damage for you if you know how to turn that on. Turn on the jets, so to speak. If you have no meter, in case you're curious, this would be the way to combo in HD. Light roll, fierce grab. Light roll. It's going to be half forward punch, quarterback light kick. You can just sort of repeat this over and over. And that would be just a meterless HD combo that you could do. Daimon does involve quite a few half circles. Getting things like this down are going to be how you get some... God, it's so hard. That does not work from a whole lot of ranges, but it does work. Being able to combo off of rolls, being able to take the risk off standing light kick, understanding how to use your standing and crouching normals effectively to control space, utilizing jump CD smartly, and just moving around a lot are going to be the keys to being a good Daimon player. He's very, very reliant on the basics. All he has really is normals. This is a gimmick. This is a gimmick. Against really, really good players, they will lose their effectiveness over time, and you want to make sure you understand just how to play very, very simple movement-based aggression with Daimon. Standing jab is probably your best tool for doing so. Combine that with standing light kick, and your opponent is going to want to guard at some point. Let me think if there's anything that I missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are some characters for which you can use jump away hard kick as an instant overhead. This is something you'll want to practice. It doesn't work on every character, but if you, like, say, start doing close jab and you know they're going to block, you could, of course, just go for command grab. But another thing you can do is hop away hard kick, especially when you knock someone down. Woo! And that's really, really annoying to deal with, and it gets someone to stop crouch guarding. If you're Daimon and you get your opponent to keep alternating their guard, either up or down, you have plenty of ways to take advantage. If they're guarding in the first place, just go for grab. If they're guarding low, you can, of course, hop in and possibly get combos. And if they're guarding high, of course, whoop, you can get damage no matter where you land that standing line. If you have a bar, make that damage a little bit bigger. So, again, I want to reiterate that, let's see, I had a thought, it was gone. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, anything else I really want to mention? Oh, last little tidbit. If you look next to the timer, you'll notice the guard gauge that every character has, where if you block too much, you get guard broken. There are some characters that have a bit more guard gauge than the others. Daimon is one of those characters. So, if your opponent is guarding, or more specifically, if you like to block, Daimon might be a character for you, because he can block a few more attacks than most characters. At this point, I would have guard broken almost any other character in the game, but Daimon has extra guard meter, so does Rolf, Clark, and Maxima. Maybe, I think, one other character. Not in my head at the moment. But you can guard a little bit more with Daimon. You have a bunch of reversals in the DT kick, in the one frame grab, in the super, in the EX roll, which you can use for shenanigans, even in the hard kick roll. This is something I learned today. Meaty! Meaty! Okay. The thing about the hard kick roll, though, is you cannot cancel that one into specials. So even though it's invincible, there's not a whole lot you can do with it because you're stuck in that roll for a really long time. So I do not recommend waking up with hard kick roll too much. Any opponent that's paying attention is not going to let you finish that roll and get something off. But that's pretty much all there is to Daimon. I showed you the basic combos. I showed you which normals you want to focus on, how to abuse those normals, some basic types of pressure you can do, what to do when your opponent's guarding, not guarding. If your opponent doesn't guard, just keep hitting standing light kick. One of these is going to hit. And you absolutely can take that risk, go for the roll, and get some big damage. I missed it. He's got very high damage HD combos. Overall, you just focus on your normals, and that's pretty much all there is to him. I will upload this to YouTube. If I made any mistakes, let me know. I'll try to update in annotations. I'm at about 33 minutes on this video. I want to let you guys know I wanted to try to keep these videos short and sweet like the original videos, like with Vice and Takuma and King. I don't want to go overboard like I have been. But if you have any questions about Daimon, feel free to ask me or any of the good Daimon players. Don't forget about Dream Cancel. Don't forget about the KOF community sites that are out there. Catch me on my stream. There's information below this video, either on Twitch or on YouTube. There should be information for how to get to my stream or how to ask me questions. And that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching the Daimon tutorial. Happy to be back. I'll be doing some more tutorials in the coming weeks. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.